Assalamu alaikum, dear students and learners. I hope you are staying well and you are staying at home. This is Muhammad Shaheen Iqbal Shujan once again with you. I think you are staying connected with us with the Facebook ID of the college. We know corona pandemic situation is going on all over the world. During this period, we should stay at home. I hope you will not get involved any kind of anti-social activities. And dear learners, I expect you not to be involved any kind of activity subversive to the state. I advise you, my dear students, not to be addicted to smoking and drug addiction. In the last class I told that among 8 parts of speech, verb is called the most effective and powerful one of 8, because without verb we cannot make any kind of sentences. So today I'd like to discuss verb. Okay, and the class is designed for both 11 and BM 11. Today's content is verb. Dear learners, I have given an example on board here. We are staying at home and maintaining hygiene to prevent COVID-19. Once again, we are staying at home and maintaining hygiene to prevent COVID-19. Here, a question may arise: what a verb is? The answer is, a verb is a word which indicates action. In another word, words of doing are called verbs. So in the sentence given on the board, let's identify verbs. Here are staying, maintaining, prevent. The sentence given here as example is related to the present situation. Here, these underlined words are verbs. Okay, think of the last class. I also mentioned tense. Verb is the base of tense, and tense is called the soul of English grammar. So imagine, dear students, how important verb and tense are. Okay. Here, the underlined words are usually used as verbs because these words indicate action. Okay. But think of tense. Here, these verbs are following forms of tense, but this one prevent is not following any form of tense. So here we are staying at home, are staying and maintaining. If we use separately, then we can use we are maintaining. So these verbs are making a form of tense, that is present continuous tense, present progressive tense. The another name of continuous is progressive. But here prevent, it's a verb, but it's not following any form of tense. So let's think of the classifications of verbs, and for these reasons are, one is to follow form of tense, another is not to follow any form of tense. So the tense is mainly classified into two kinds: classifications of verbs. Mainly one is finite verb and another is non-finite verb. Okay, dear learners, finite and non-finite verb. The main classification of a verb is two. One is finite verb, another is non-finite verb. So think of tense in the sentence. Here these two verbs, this two one and also this one together, they are making a form of tense, that is present continuous or present progressive tense. So if a verb follows any form of tense, and we will discuss later, if any verb follows tense, if any verb follows tense as we find here, these verbs are following tense, that is to say they are forming a form of tense, that is present continuous. So they are called finite verb. Yeah, finite verbs. It is also an example of a finite verb. Okay. In short, we can say if a verb follows any form of tense, The verb is called finite verb. If I want to give full definition of finite verb, then it can be the verb which follows the number and person of the subject, and is changed according to tense is called a finite verb. In short, if any verb follows any form of tense, then the verb is called finite verb. And if we want to use non-finite verb, then go to the opposite to finite verb. That is a finite verb follows a tense, but a non-finite verb does not follow any form of tense. Here, prevent is not following any form of tense, and also it is not following the number and person of the subject. So we can mention the definition. If a verb does not follow the number and person of the subject and is not changed according to tense, is called non-finite verb. So dear learners, I think you have understood the differences between finite verb and non-finite verb. Okay, here are staying and are maintaining, they are used as finite verb. And here to prevent is an example of non-finite verb. Once again, let's read the given example. We are staying at home and maintaining hygiene. Hygiene means the rules of health to prevent COVID-19. Here in the example, dear students, think of these verbs. Are staying. Here we find two verbs. Remember, all the verbs together making any form of tense are called finite verbs. All the verbs. Here without a, we cannot make here present continuous tense. So we need a here to make continuous. So here are staying together. They are finite verb. All the verbs together making any form of tense are called finite verb, whether in active voice or passive voice. Dear students, look at this example. Are staying. If we want to find out the meaning of the verb, then whose meaning comes to light? Stay. Here we find the meaning of the verb staying. But we are not getting the meaning of this verb But without we could not make this form of tense here in the example. We need here, but we are not getting the meaning of So we find the meaning of the verb staying. but we are not getting the meaning or sense of are here. So, in finite verbs, okay, we find two classifications. One is principal verb. Or main verb. Another one is auxiliary verb or helping verb. So, in the examples of finite verbs here on board, dear learners, look what we find. Are staying. Here we find the sense of staying, not are. So, if we find any sense of any verb, that is principal verb. What's a principal verb? A principal verb can make a sense itself. Yeah, stay is an example of a principal verb as it's used as its own sense, but without are. Here in the example we couldn't make any form of tense, so are is helping the verb staying here. So, it is called auxiliary verb. Okay. Then we can say if a verb can make a sense itself, it is principal verb, and auxiliary verb is that verb which helps principal verb to form any form of tense, voice and mode. Dear learners, we need verb to make any sentence, and we must need a finite verb to make any sentence, and also we must need a principal verb to make any sentence. Dear learners, you are staying at home. Stay at home. Follow hygiene. Stay connected with us. Never get involved any kind of antisocial activities or activities subversive to the state, and don't get addicted to drug addiction and smoking. Stay connected with the Facebook page. See you in the next class. Thank you, dear students. Thank you for being a student of Azizul Haq Memorial Degree College. Thank you. কয়েক সেকেন্ড বাকি ছিল নাকি আবার আচ্ছা যাই হোক